everybody, Jackie Ray here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. While you're here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. I know I usually kind of just post snippets from my podcast, which you can hear on Thursday on iTunes, Spotify, 950 Lounge, CBTV Radio, all those places. So make sure you follow me on Instagram. You'll get the link to all that. But we had to talk about this right now because y'all are not reacting to this news the way that I thought you would. So if you don't know, the Clippers and Doc Rivers have decided to part ways. I kind of knew this was going to happen right after they lost to Denver, and then ESPN decided to post that Petty White caption where it says that he's lost 3 times after being up 3-1. Nevertheless, though, I still think that Doc Rivers is a good coach. I'm not going to say he's an elite coach. I've heard Stephen A. Smith say he's an elite coach. I think an elite coach is like a Greg Popovich, Phil Jackson. I think those are elite coaches. You can even maybe throw Steve Kerr in there, even though Steve Kerr literally just kind of has Mark Jackson's team, but that's a whole nother story for another day. But I am surprised. So I posted this on my Instagram because I wanted to get feedback from you guys to see if you guys were feeling the same way I did, like, oh, poor Doc. And no, you guys are all fine and dandy with him getting the boot. So, but here's the thing, and this is why I really wanted to have a conversation about that. I get it. You lose 3-1 to a team that no one was really talking about, even though they were at the number 3 spot going into the bubble. No one was really talking about Denver. And I get that. So you don't expect a juggernaut. And literally, when you look at the talent and the experience and Kawhi, you really have to consider the Clippers a juggernaut. So I get going into that series and losing to Denver was a big deal. However, I think that's more of a credit to the Denver Nuggets as well. Does have that ring, a legit ring, not just a show-up ring. He won that with the Celtics during the 2007-2008 season. He did get the Eastern Conference champs with the Celtics again in 2009-2010, but they ended up losing that to the Lakers. So while I get it, I understand why you guys want him gone. I think we're overlooking a little bit of information here. I don't think Doc Rivers is as bad as, he definitely is not remotely close to being as bad as some of you guys are saying. But I just want to kind of break down his history just a wee bit. He takes over the Clippers in the 2013-2014 season, right? So that's the season that I think we all can agree that we thought, myself included, everyone here in LA, even Lakers fans, because you know Lakers were trash at that time, Lakers fans were pulling for the Clippers because at least you had an LA team doing a thing. So what we forget is, though, that is also the same season that Donald Sterling lost his racist mind. And then, you know, there was this whole protest in the middle of the game. They were playing the Warriors at that time. They did end up winning that series in 7, but it still has to be a shot to the face, you know, shot to the gut, shot to the heart, wherever you want to call that shot, because now you have these predominantly black players that are going out and playing for this racist man. And it took a minute before he was actually forced to sell the team. So yes, Doc Rivers was the coach at that time, but I think that maybe we shouldn't account for that season, which I get. Everyone thought that was their season, but there was mitigating circumstances in that one. I don't think we should count that one. Now, the next season, the 2014-2015 season, now everyone's kind of hoping that they kind of regroup from a racist time. I feel like it should have been a little easier, and I'm not even trying to be funny, but considering that it's predominantly black people have been overcoming racism our entire existence. But nonetheless, that next season after Donald Sterling was not it. They did end up beating the Spurs. I specifically remember that game because I actually bet on the Spurs, and the Clippers won by 3. I was a little upset by that. But then they go up 3-1 against the Rockets. Now, here's where I'm like, okay, this specific series against the Rockets, I will relent, because this doesn't make sense. So in that series, Clippers won the first game. They lost the second game. They won 2, and then they lost the last 3. So obviously that last game is win or go home, right? So the head coach for the Rockets decides that in that specific game, they are going to sit James Harden for the majority of the fourth quarter. That was Doc Rivers losing a 3-1 advantage and not being able to find a way to pull that series out with James Harden sitting on the bench. His other being down 3-1, I'm not even counting. That was in 2003, you guys. Come on, y'all keep bringing up old stuff. We're trying to move forward. Stop bringing up old stuff. But then, of course, being up 3-1. But I'm still, And I know y'all are going to get mad at me about this. I'm still not blaming this entirely on Doc Rivers. We already know Paul George said he was having mental issues and he was checked out. I don't care what kind of coaching happened in the fourth quarter. Kawhi and Paul George simply did not show up. Now I get, oh, maybe he should have pep talked him, but these are grown men who their entire objective is to be out there and try to win this game because they don't want to go home. They didn't score anything in the Kawhi didn't score anything in the fourth quarter. I don't believe Paul George did either, but now I can't remember because I was just dancing so hard that Denver Nuggets beat him. But I don't know if you can put this squarely on the shoulders of Doc Rivers.